Welcome to the XDOG podcast, where our mission is to help dog owners extend the life of their dogs through nutrition, fitness, and education. I am your host, Stan Smith, CEO of XDOG, and whether you're looking for tips on how to improve your dog's overall health, get valuable training details, or insight on personal growth and business development, then you are in the right place. So march with us as we go heads up against your dog's number one enemy, canine obesity, and let's win this battle together. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the XDOG podcast, and I got the crew with me. I got Sabrina over here, and of course, I got AZeter. And today, we're going to talk about a couple different things. One is going to be about the influencer era, and is it more important to be an influencer versus somebody with credentials, or is somebody with credentials with no influence very valuable when it comes to making a difference in whatever category that they're credentialed in? Yeah. And then we're going to answer the illustrious question, is XDOG a cult? And we're going to discuss the difference between an MLM and an affiliate program, because it seems like a lot of you out there do not understand the difference between it. And then we're going to talk about the agenda, with somebody who has the agenda of actually trying to destroy something really actually helps it thrive. And of course, last but not least, we're going to talk about the steak dinners that Steven and I owe the admins for banning XDOG in their illustrious group and giving us prime real estate. But let's go ahead and talk about the influencer era. Right now, social media is a big deal, right? You're in business. You got to have influence. And it seems like nowadays that, I don't know what your guys' thought is. It could be someone just like a girl just showing her ass, or a guy who's taking his shirt off has more influence than a freaking doctor or lawyer now.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's a good and bad time right now, because people can be put in a position to influence, which doesn't mean they should be the ones in that position. But as far as you were saying earlier, as far as having credentials and things like that, if it's in a field where it's, I'm not going to say required, but at least have some knowledge. I think there's a fine line between actually having influence and then being somebody with knowledge that can influence. It depends on what field you're trying to lead in. That's how I feel.
She disagrees.
No, I don't disagree.
Well, I'm saying, hold on real quick. I was just going to say, showing off your ass. If somebody got a shitload of followers showing off your ass, it doesn't
take. It's not going to sell though. And what are you selling?
And that's a good question, because, I've talked to a few mentors, and, for example, we're in the dog business, right? Mm-hmm. So a girl showing her ass may not help us out who has 1 million followers, compared to someone who's a dog trainer who has maybe 20 or 30,000 followers, but her direct community is dogs.
That's what I'm saying. You can sway people with your ass, but it's not going to work in every field.
Well, you can grab their attention, but is that attention going to convert to a sale? Because that's the other thing you got to look at. But yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. But what if the thing at hand isn't just a sale? Sale is one thing, but it's just kind of you're
that reach, right? No, I would agree with that.
Exactly. You're going to be influencing a generation at this point. We're going to be influencing the future, or the sway of the future. An ass ain't enough, you gotta have some knowledge, but that doesn't equal the credentials.
Right. Well, I would say that's the other thing. Does knowledge and credentials, are those always positively correlated or no? Because I would say no. Because think about it, Bill Gates dropped out, and
exactly.
We look at where he's at.
Now, think about this. Now, I'll let you guys both hit on it. But why do you feel like those who have credentials are having a hard time influencing people?
Well, maybe they were so busy with their credentials they didn't have time to build a following. I don't know.
Honestly, that was going to be my answer.
Maybe it's a different generation, or maybe, I'm not sure. But I just feel like just because you have credentials isn't going to be enough. You also need that influence, or maybe to partner up with someone that has that influence. Just because you have that influence, but you might not have the knowledge, then that might not help you either. I feel like you need to have knowledge and influence, and that's where you're going to succeed.
That's a very good point. And I would say, and I'm not going to say every individual that goes forward to having credentials or looking to have the education to teach people, but sometimes a lot of them feel like that's all they need to invest in. They don't realize this generation today, it's all pop culture, all social media, everything's online, and some of them don't think that way.
I can't tell you the last time I saw an ad on TV, because I never watch regular TV.
Do you think TV's dying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cable, yeah.
Yeah, of course. This is our TV now.
Like most of the new brands I find on Instagram.
So what's up with TikTok?
TikTok's just it's a wave, and I hope it grows, but it will eventually either settle or become something else.
Yeah.
I think it's a platform to prop people up to do more.
You know what I've noticed is that a lot of people who are on TikTok, they're actually leveraging it to build their Instagram.
Yeah.
Like it's really crazy. Like I've seen a lot of people who didn't have very many followers on Instagram. All of a sudden, they blew up on TikTok, and then their Instagram grew. Not necessarily to Facebook, but it's kind of weird because Facebook owns Instagram, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of weird how Facebook, I don't know, Facebook and Instagram are like almost two completely different planets in a way.
They are, and it's just weird because now it looks like they're sharing the same features, but still there's like a group that goes to Instagram and a group that sways to Facebook. And it's usually by age. That's why I see the demographic.
So what do you see Facebook as far as like age-wise and
Older.
demographics?
I said it once in a post I did on Facebook. I was like, man, it feels like the family cookout where like the grown-ups table is Facebook, and then like the Instagram is like I'm gonna go play with my cousins. Like that's the other table.
And TikTok is like the little cousin, the little bitty infant cousins are trying to hang out with the older cousins.
They're playing in the sandbox.
Now the beauty about TikTok, I feel like what made them so great is just the fact that like it's so easy to share a TikTok. Like you can put it on any platform.
That's true.
No, I tried to run an ad directly from TikTok when I shared it on Facebook, but it wouldn't allow. I wouldn't allow that.
And that's probably where they draw the line. And it's only because TikTok is capitalizing so much from getting their own promotion off of this. I don't feel like they're going to sway to help brand or anything like that. I think they're enjoying what they're doing right now. But like Facebook and Instagram, of course, they're going to take the money.
They're going to cross promote. Yeah.
So what would you suggest, let's say an older person, man, who has all these credentials and they feel like their voice isn't being heard, what would be the best advice that you would give them to help get their voice out? Because it seems like a lot of them are investing time into bitching and complaining and being mad at those who are that are more influential than them but don't have quite the credentials.
I feel like they should partner up with people. Like instead of going against people, why don't you see about joining them?
Yes.
Like don't look at everyone as if they're the enemy just because they have something you want or they're doing better at something or they have more of a reach than you.
And you use the terms bitching and complaining. Already when you hear that, you think of somebody with a closed mind. It just sounds like they're just very limited because they don't have an open mind.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. I don't know of anybody like who is successful, especially, I mean, this goes with credentials or without credentials, that spend or invest time into complaining on Facebook. If you have time, if you have all these credentials and certifications and you're complaining and you're doing a rant post on Facebook, that's the bigger problem than anything, right?
I get jealous when I see that. I'm like, man, the amount of time that they have to write this up.
Oh yeah, you could be investing.
I wish.
Yeah, invest your time doing something else, like getting a following. And getting it done the right way.
Do you think there's a misconception as far as like there's almost an arrogance to it to where it's like, okay, a lot of people talk, I mean, we call it the XDOG hater cult, right? Where it's like you see that on their page, they constantly do posts. They don't get very much momentum. And then it's like, oh, let's talk about XDOG. And all of a sudden they get some momentum and they feel like, well, I got 500-600 people commenting on my post, so this should influence the whole entire world. But the big idea is that, or the big understanding that I have is that the dog community is massive.
Yeah.
So a couple hundred people that you're influencing really is less than 0.00000000001%.
What's the influence converting over? You're getting the attention of all the like haters and the people that already have that closed mindset. Like that's what you want.
Of course, like it's terrible. I don't know. Like I think about that too. I see those posts that are just like that. It's just, what are you gaining by complaining out in public? What is that helping you? What did you work to get those credentials for? What is the ultimate purpose at the end of the day? Do we share the same purpose?
Well, obviously those who you attract do, right?
Yes.
So I guess that is. So would it be safe to say that those who have the agenda of basically personally trying to destroy something they're actually helping it thrive?
Of course.
Why do you feel that way?
Because all publicity is good publicity.
Well, I mean, it's not even just that. 'Cause I don't fully agree with that.
Yeah, I don't fully either. But
why not?
Because let's just say somebody steers attention a certain way, right? Now, people, like the person that's getting all that attention, it's what they do with that attention. Like you can either
control the narrative.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like the person who can make fun of themselves versus the person who, can't take the criticism.
Did you look at me when you said that?
I look right at you. I'm not gonna lie. No, but I'm saying like a brand can hurt itself if it understands that it's put on the pedestal, or put in the spotlight, and let's just say they handle it negatively, then it can hurt the company. I think. But if we can make fun of ourselves, or we can just combat with success, or combat with, no, let's align, like think bigger than just opposing each other.
Right.
I feel like then that's the right way to run with that kind of attention.
I would agree. And I feel like if there's some like a mistake that's made, I feel like people should apologize for it.
Yeah, be human.
Right. Just like admit to it, or take accountability. I guess accountability is the word that I'm looking for. Be accountable for things, but either way with it.
And
whether
that's why
you're the person.
I love XDOG like for that, because we are human beings, and when we know it, like we don't try to act like we're above anybody. We're there with y'all. We're a pack together, and I really love that about us.
Yeah, I feel like, man, we go above and beyond trying to make things right with anybody and everybody who's had maybe a unpleasant experience with us. But I've seen people though who had unpleasant experiences with us, and we've done it right, and it still didn't, satisfy their thirst, or it just, I don't know. To me, it's like whether XDOG exists or not, do you think their problems still exist?
Oh yeah, you got to think of people that act crazy on the road. Are they really mad at the guy who cut them off and took 10 seconds away from their life, or is there something else going on, in their own lives?
Like, are they just going to find something? You have chronic complainers. There's some people that are just so pessimistic, they're always going to find fault with something.
Yeah, I agree with that, because, you can say, okay, there's 10 different great benefits of this product, right? But that's the one thing I don't like about it. So let's complain about that and focus on that.
It's easy to find flaws.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
You know why.
Is it my dating life?
No, it's mine.
I think we all have flaws. I just feel like, man, a lot of people, man, they put their problems, like it's really easier to focus on putting your problems and blaming your problems on everybody else instead of just looking in the mirror.
Of course.
I think that's what makes Mike Tyson's podcast so real right now, is because he is so real with himself as far as just like, he's so authentic, where it's almost like, I can't believe he said that. You know?
It's like you're watching a superhero just like break down right in front of you. It's crazy, and in some time of your life, you would have thought that'd be weak, but if anything, it's probably the strongest thing you can do.
Right, to be more vulnerable and put that out there. And I think like what you were saying earlier, like why don't people like address themselves in the mirror? It's a hard pill to swallow that you're the one that's standing in your own way, or you're the one that's the reason for why you're at. So people always want to find like some kind of external source to blame.
Why'd you look at Gomi when you said that? Yeah, it was one of the biggest growing experiences that I had when I first eventually opened up about my struggles and my addictions and just my insecurities as a whole.
Yeah.
I about shit my pants when I did it. But when I did it, it was like I had about 1,000 messages of people hitting me up going, oh my God, I can't, I've been going through the same things. And a lot of people struggle, man, and they just don't like talking about it. I'm telling you right now, if you are dealing with a problem, I can almost guarantee you're not the only person in the world dealing with that problem. I don't care what it is. Porn addiction, crazy.
It just makes it more real and relatable, and then someone else can see, oh, there's someone else that's going through that or has gone through that.
I think that's a lot to do with like some of the people that are on Instagram right now, as far as just like they try to always post their highlights or their best pictures of themselves. But I think it was like what Cardi B, where she was just like days that she didn't have makeup were like some of her biggest posts.
Yeah, because you're human at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I just love that. I think the way you can get to people is just relate to them. That's really it. I don't mean get to them in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, let's just relate to each other. Like, we don't have to be looking like we're above and anybody else. I think it's a big quality to have, and it's important in today's age, I believe.
All right, so let's address this question, because this question has been going around. It seems like one of the go-to things that people who are not a fan of XDOG like to say is XDOG an actual cult? Are we a cult?
I mean, I would say let's look at the definition of a cult and see if that aligns with what we are.
Well, read off the definition. See if you can find it. You have your laptop up?
Yeah.
What's the definition of an actual cult?
Oxford definition? Or all right, there's 4 different.
Refer to xdog.com.
So
why is there a picture of you here?
Read each one. Let's go through the first one, and then we'll analyze the first one. You said there's 4?
Uh-huh.
All right, go through each one, and then we'll analyze the first one, second one, third one, and we'll just read the first one off.
Okay, so a system of religious veneration and devotion directed toward a particular figure or object.
Do we worship the vest?
No.
I mean, I think it's a great tool, but I don't think we're like over here like praying to it.
I don't know. I don't worship it.
So far, we don't align with it, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 1, that's a no. All right. What's the next one?
2, a relatively small group, I would say we're not small to start off, but of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister. Well, we're not a religion.
Well, then that would be almost like the XDOG hater cult would be more
Right.
like that because
It's an anti.
yeah, it's an anti, it's sinister.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, here at XDOG, we want to see everybody thrive and win. We want to make sure everybody's successful. I mean, our whole mission is to help dog owners extend the life of their dogs through nutrition, fitness, and education. And if we don't have the education, we bring on the proper people to educate them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we don't fit number 2. So what about number 3?
Nope. 3, a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing.
You know, it all sounds like it's like worshiping one thing at the end of the day. And I don't think of that when I think of XDOG. You know,
Right.
I don't see that. So 3, no. A hell no.
4th, this is my favorite one. A person or thing that is popular or fashionable, especially among a particular section of society. So, for example, like a cult film or a cult hit.
Faces of Death.
Did you ever watch that shit?
Yeah, you know, most of it was fake.
No way.
Yeah, like
I don't even know what y'all are
80 some
talking
percent of it.
The ones where the people actually getting their face blown.
Some of them were real.
What?
Yeah, you never watch Faces Dead? You have to have.
You seem like you'd be the person to like introduce it to other people.
People always make assumptions.
So yeah,
of me.
Faces of Death was like one of those video VHS tapes.
Yeah.
That
What's
you
a VHS?
Yeah, this is before like CDs. What's a CD? CD is something you
Compact disc.
Yeah. So yeah, I was really young, but I remember used to going to I guess it wouldn't be a Blockbuster, but those little mom and pop type rental places, and you could actually get Faces of Death. And I always get them next to the UFC, like very first UFC MMA fighting.
Was it a movie or a show?
It was just like clips of death. So like, for example, a guy parachuted out of the sky and landed in a crocodile pit and got eaten alive in front of people.
Yeah, it's like a dark series.
Like a snuff film?
Yeah, like kind of like that, yeah. But some of it's supposed to be true. I know some of the executions were real, but then a lot of other things were
I feel
fabricated.
like we're digressing.
Oh, no. I mean, it's still cult related.
No, I know. But
It's a cult film.
So
It's XDOG.
What are some of the most famous cults that you know of or that you've watched? Because there's a lot. I actually watched something like a few miles down the road, we had David Koresh.
David Koresh, yeah.
That was kind of crazy, right?
That one, yeah. Like just the fact that you hear Waco and how close it is. I just can't believe something like that
You know,
can happen.
does it intrigue you or do you have, I mean, I guess you would think some of the cult people were some of the biggest influencers in modern time before the internet, I
mean,
guess.
some people want to go down for things no matter what they go down for, right? They just want to be recognized or associated.
It's not even that. I just think
murderers.
the individuals that lead cults, a lot of them are, if you really analyze what they're doing, they're kind of brilliant. Like they're pretty intelligent. Like
Right.
I couldn't even take nothing. I mean, one, I
Like,
don't want to
I
prop
could give them
up.
credit for getting people to rally behind against them.
Right. You can get people comfortable around you and influence them, but it's like, what is your intention? If you have malice intention, you can be a Charles Manson. You could be a David Koresh. You could be a Jim Jones. But I'm saying there's a lot of people who have that influence that mean well, mean good. I don't know, though. It interests me.
I always think of like the Manson family murders when I think of cult.
Yeah, that's another one. How do you think they are able to influence their followers to do like crazy
I feel
shit like
they
that?
get certain people. You find a certain kind of person that's open and to like basically be like a follower. Like, you know what I mean?
I've read into a lot of like Helter Skelter, like the Manson family stuff, and really what he did was kind of target people that he felt were most vulnerable, or because he had
and called them his family.
Yeah, like he made them feel like they were a part of something. But not only that, like he had like this very distaste for I believe it was like Hollywood and the music industry. Like he was so anti-establishment.
But they were squatted up at like an old former like movie studio or something, right?
Yeah, he was connected, right? Like
like he I think they accidentally murdered those people. They meant to kill the neighbors or something like that. It was something in that field where he was trying to get revenge, and he was basically getting them ready to do his deed.
Right.
So, a lot of times they just prey on the vulnerable. They prey on the ones that feel like they need somebody, need something. In his case, he was giving them drugs and stuff like that.
Reading that, yeah.
What's another popular Jonestown?
Yeah, Jim Jones and the People's Temple. That's the one where they drink all that cyanide-laced Kool-Aid.
Gomi loves that one. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw the videos of it. I was like, damn, that Kool-Aid looks kind of good.
What do you think's going through their mind as far as just like, we've got to off ourselves? We know we're gonna off ourselves. Let's drink this Kool-Aid. Like, and how did he influence so many people to actually do it?
I thought about the ones that didn't drink it. The ones that there were. I felt.
How many people
did
survive that?
It was like a raptor or something. I don't know. I just know it was over 900 died. I'm not sure how many people actually survived.
I imagine like some people, man, fuck
Let me see if I
this.
can
Swishing it.
Yeah.
Remember you used to have to swish in school? Did you ever do that?
No.
Where they make you drink the fluoride? Damn, am I that old?
Well, what are you talking about?
We used to have to swish in school. Like,
swish what?
Like fluoride. Like when you're little, like first, second. Third.
Really? No.
I didn't know.
You guys never did that?
Did you do
that?
I was in
shit?
Europe, so I don't know.
Yeah, they used to make us take fluoride. We call it swooshing. And you'd swish it for 30 seconds and spit it out. That's how I feel like I would have done.
Suspect. Like, why are they doing that?
Well, maybe the people on Facebook will remember this who are who are the credentials are chronic.
The grown-up table.
I fucking hate swishing.
That or the measles or what is it, that vaccine?
Yeah, so I guess XDOG is not a cult.
We are not a cult. By definition.
Well, I think like when it comes to being a cult too, like I don't know, when I think of cult, I think it's relatively hard to get out of, and we have no problem pushing a dumbass out.
Well, it's not even just pushing them.
He was like this when he was trying to figure out where you should look.
Well, it's not even like pushing someone out. I just feel like they don't fit in. They organically.
Right, you kind of weed yourself out, right?
That's how I feel. And not only that, you've even said to any one of us, if we felt at some point we don't see ourselves here anymore, you would basically let us be here until we find another place to be at. Like you said it yourself.
I mean, I always hear him say he wants people to leave here better than they were.
Yes.
I mean, I don't feel like a cult would kind of wish that on people.
No.
I don't even know if I wish that for people.
Yeah, that's saying a lot too. When you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm talking about her. I wish it was bad.
Damn. I was like, let me be quiet. He caught it though.
All right, so for all the people and also who have, who, I guess, all these credentials and know everything and mention that we are an MLM, let's kind of explain to people what the difference between an MLM versus an affiliated marketing program, because I thought it would be something that's more common sense, but it doesn't seem like it is common sense, because a lot of people say, oh, their XDOG is like an MLM.
Yeah, I don't.
You ever seen that episode of Michael
it.
Scott, and he's talking to Jim? He's like, man, I want you to join my program. And they're trying to sell something. He's like, this, and it's really simple. And it's like, you take one person, then you recruit two people, and then you recruit two people. And he's like, it's a pyramid scheme. He's like, not a pyramid scheme. And he writes it.
He draws it out for him.
He's rewording it. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And then he looks at it. He's like, yeah, it's like shit. So yeah, but for those who are listening, man, we are not an MLM. MLM is a multi-level marketing program, right? So basically, you recruit somebody, they recruit people, you create a downline, and probably about 3 years down the road, you run that line down. And I mean, nothing against an MLM, but that's something furthest thing from what we offer. Now, we do offer a program called the XDOG TrueBeast affiliated program, where you can actually get your own XDOG online store. You get a promo code. People use your promo code. We offer a generous 40% commission because we buy those consumers from you. We used to offer like 10%, but now we're just like, look, let's just buy the consumer from you so we can actually provide them a consumer experience, because that's like a big deal to us, right? Like,
Yeah.
we want to make sure that whoever invests into the XDOG vest, the experience is bigger than just the product. You're not just purchasing a product and sending them on your way. So when you have an average order of like $103 to $105 or over $100, when someone places an order and uses your code,
Yeah.
it's 40%, right? You get $40. So that's pretty generous compared to a lot of affiliate marketing programs that are out there. But there's nobody underneath you. So for
Exactly.
example, like, we have a wholesale program, and we allow the wholesalers to actually have their own XDOG online store, because obviously they market on social media. So it allows them to generate other revenue without having to invest all their capital into buying all the entire lineup of the XDOG products, including the MVP products or the VitaBully or all 12 sizes of the vest. And, you know, so it's really flexible in that way. But yeah. So that's the difference between a multi-level marketing program versus an affiliated program. And
I see the biggest thing about it is if you compare the two, one is more with the intention of it might not last forever, while the other one is thinking of more growth, like longer life. You know what I mean? Affiliate program, we want it to grow. We want everybody to win. We want it in the millions. And when you're thinking of the other one, you're just thinking, I'm at the top. I ain't worried about no one else.
yeah, let me recruit somebody else, and they recruit
Exactly.
somebody else, and they recruit somebody else.
It's that whole gifting thing that groups of people do sometimes. I don't know if you ever heard about that, where you find a group of friends that have an amount of money and y'all put it in and they put it in, and at the end, the person at the end gets the money. Eventually it gets to a point where people at the end can't fulfill that amount, and then people get done at the end where they don't end up with any money. It's
And when I think
It's
about
like a
an
pyramid
MLM
scheme.
program, it's like, you could call us up and hit us up. We always have this intention of, we'll help you out whether you purchase a product from us or not.
Yeah.
And I don't even try to sell products to people. You know, you already hear me all the time when somebody hit me up, I try to solve their problem without utilizing any of our supplements if I can get it done for them with whatever their goal is. But when I think of MLM, I think of your buddy who hasn't hit you up in 3 years going, hey, what's going on, Stan? Hey, check this out. I'm part of something now, man. You might want to consider it's just a small investment. And then you got family members that do it, and you have to freaking avoid them, because every time they call, you're like, shit, man, he's trying to sell me something.
It's like my aunt when she signed up with Mary Kay.
Yeah.
Or they become Avon ladies.
Oh, man, Skin So Soft is probably one of the best mosquito repellents in history. Have you ever used that?
No,
Yeah.
that's from Avon?
Yeah. You heard of Skin So Soft?
No. But the fact that you said it's a mosquito repellent instead of like a lotion, like I thought you were going to
It's
say
like
it's a
an
lotion.
oil, man. But I used to share Christmas trees, and I'm talking like Mosquitoville galore.
I believe it.
It's because it's all water and rainy, and it's a field of just a shit ton of insects, and mosquitoes are just like murdering you. So Skin So Soft was one of my grandma used to keep it in the cabinet, and it helped out a lot, man. So
There goes your promo.
So let's talk about how Steven and I actually owe some admins of a special group a steak dinner.
Let's do it.
All right, so some people, man. Let me go over the little story. So basically, what happened is that we end up getting banned from a group that I'm actually still a part of the group. I don't want to say their name because you'll have to pay me to say their name. That's going to cost them.
Yeah.
But I will talk about this group. This group has about, 30,000 members. And I couldn't believe it when it happened, to be honest with you. Not on the shock factor of their intentions, but on the shock factor as I cannot believe that they would give us such prime real estate in their group. Like, we're actually a rule. And all of a sudden, like, that day, well, that week and the entire month, sales continued to skyrocket. And because of that, and being able to, I guess what you say, track the IP addresses of where these leads were coming from, a lot of the leads came from that group. Now, the agenda of the admin was to destroy XDOG, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, they helped us thrive. Why do you think they helped us thrive so much? I want to hear your guys' insight.
Because if you didn't already know what XDOG was and you went to go look us up, and then
Yeah.
you can actually make your own decision, be like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. Like, I didn't know this existed, but now I want it.
Yeah, it's this thing called the internet. Like, there's no going around it at this point. You know, it's not like some club down the street that, hey, they're not allowed here. It's more like, hey, you hear about this, you can go look it up and find out for yourself. And, you know, it draws curiosity. And when they see the people who back us, when they see, I mean, just easily going to our site and that drawing that curiosity and then looking at the testimonies, it's a done deal at that point. They're going to be like, oh, well, I'm going to try it out for myself. Let me find out.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, people are more skeptical nowadays, and they're not just going to take what someone says necessarily. They're going to make their own decisions too. So
Exactly.
Well, especially, what if you're known as this? I mean, do you think it's arrogance that kind of shoots them in the foot, or are they making an emotional decision on their intent that they feel like they have? What I mean by arrogance, you feel like, oh, I'm an admin of a group and I got all these people in my group, so they're all going to listen to me and follow me. When the reality is that I'm a chronic complainer and I bitch and complain all the time, and the only thing I do is complain, and people go, well, I like being part of your group because there's other people that I see in this group that are a part of it, and I like to get some information, but a lot of them are just quiet.
Of course.
And they don't actually give a shit about what the admin thinks.
No, I know that's the case for quite a few. You know what I mean? That makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of people are like that.
Well, some people could also make the argument that XDOG, we're control freaks too, because when people come into our group and we don't let them bitch and complain and we remove them after we give them a warning, they think that we're control freaks. Do you think that's similar?
yeah, but also I'm confused with that. It's like, we're so bad and you don't like us, then why are you upset about not being, why didn't you just remove yourself? Why do we even have to remove you? Like, if you didn't want to be a part of us, why are you even here?
Right.
Like,
You formed an
there's
opinion.
the door.
You formed an opinion, and you're saying it in a group of people that probably do not align with that opinion. Like, why even bring up the conversation? Mm-hmm. Remove yourself.
Right.
I think sometimes we put stuff out there just to flush people out, just to see if they actually, because here's the thing, like, what really makes them stick out, or do you think it's more, for example, do you think they're so emotionally driven that they can't keep their mouth shut? For example, they'll see something, they don't like it in our group, and then they'll bring it up, but you really notice them because they never bring any value to the group. Mm-hmm. So you're like, dude, who's this person?
Yeah, that happens a
Who
lot.
even are you?
And the first thing you do is when we warn them. I mean, here's the thing, man, with our group, it's just like, look, dude, if you don't agree with someone, direct message them. But this whole public leveraging to try to make someone feel like a piece of shit of human being because maybe they made a poor decision with their dog.
Yeah.
Or they align XDOG with, here's the deal, guys. Let me make this very clear. Anybody who invests in the XDOG vest, yes, we say they are part of Team XDOG, but we are not the
governing factor of
we're not the police. We're not the deciding factor of how people show their dogs. And if you talk to us about this and ask us to go police it, by law, we can't go police shit. No. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that at the end of the day, but, when that actually happened, it helped us out so much, and I think we grew over 200% last month since that happened. Mm-hmm. Steve and I actually sat back and we're like, shit, this is so effective that we should actually pay other groups to ban our products and put us as a rule.
Hey, just try to shit on us, we'll pay you.
So admins of the group, I want to say thank you. Man, actually message us, email us, actually go to xdog.com and hit the chat. Say, I am the admin who bans your products in our group, and you owe me a steak dinner, and we will definitely get you that steak dinner. And then also, if you have a major group and you want to ban our product, we'd be willing to pay you to put us in your prime real estate, right?
Yeah, that includes potato, vegetables, drink, wine. Whatever you want.
They can get the salad bar too?
Yeah, salad bar.
No, but I'm seriously, like, we'll actually pay you to actually ban our products in the group because it actually helped us thrive so much. Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think the agenda of somebody trying to, for example, destroy something actually help it thrive? For example, Trump. It seems like there's a lot of people that hate him, but all of a sudden, like, it's like he's everywhere. Why do you feel like he was able to get elected, even saying all that brass shit?
Like I said, the thing called the internet. I just feel like... Right. The energy gets riled up and it all spreads throughout. And then now people start looking into it, researching, forming their own opinions. It's kind of like open market no matter what.
Well, there was something you said the other day about like the internet doesn't know, or the algorithms don't know, like, good or bad or emotions behind it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So
It don't know the difference. It just knows that people are talking about it.
yeah,
About it.
I guess would you consider the internet the almost kind of like the new news channel? Like I don't know, man. Like for me, I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I find myself dead center. It doesn't matter if I'm not getting into politics because I'm not a political type person. It's whoever's president. I got to adjust.
Right.
Well, you know my issue with it? This is my only issue. Your internet is tailored to how you live. Her internet is tailored the same way. When you get on and search something, your results look different than Stan's. His look different than mine.
Yeah, or even if you're in another country or another city.
That's where I have kind of like a distaste for that, because it's kind of like I don't see what you see, not 100%.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's 'cause you got
It's not
two
a eye,
eyes.
it's not an eye joke, I promise. No, but I'm just saying, like, our internet is tailored to us. We all use Google. We all get on Google Chrome. We all have Gmails. We all, you know what I mean? Like, we're part of the system.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You're right. It is our news channel, but it's made for us. It's like with our own custom remote. That's what our internet is.
Would you agree?
I mean, I do. I don't have a callback.
She usually
for that.
disagrees. So
And I was waiting for some pushback, please.
No, I'm good. I'm with you on it.
Oh, and you know, it's kind of like that one, the world's giant pit bull or whatever that dog was. It was like everybody, we all knew it wasn't considered an American pit bull terrier,
Right.
And you had both sides, people who liked it and loved the whole idea of it, and then you had people who hated on it and couldn't stand it and blew it up. Or even like trainer Cesar Milan. There's a lot of trainers that we work with or in our ecosystem that can't stand him. There are other people that we're bringing on that love him. You know, we at the end of the day, man, we just say, look, man, if you can help and your intent is to actually help people grow and improve, we're going to support it, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like too, it's like being a good influencer. I feel like even though I feed raw, right? And coming out with a kibble, you would think, well, you feed raw. Why are you coming out with kibble, right?
Yeah.
But I feel, but majority of people feed kibble, and I feel like we are able to influence more people and make them more aware and more open to raw feeding through kibble than raw communities
Right.
trying to force their narrative down people's throats, and it's almost a complete turnoff.
I agree with that 100%. Because like I wouldn't have tried mushrooms if I didn't smoke weed first. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying, like, you're right. Like,
Hey,
universal
You're
is a
calling kibble a gateway drug.
well, that kind of that's what I'm
That's
saying.
what freeze dried is.
But I'm just saying, like kibble's just more universal. You know, like
Right.
it's more friendly to the first, like even
Well,
the beginner owner. You know, like
What's the harm in trying to make the best quality kibble? You know what I mean? Like, even if that's not like what he personally
Yeah.
feeds, I mean, how are you going to fault him for trying to make something better? Like, even if it's, you know what I mean?
And what's important is the education that comes along with it. Like you said, like we are doing this because we know a lot of people feed kibble, but at the same time we are introducing ways to bring raw into the diet and actually make the kibble last longer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah, and it's a big business that we're going up against. You know, as far as just like there's a lot of money that's being tossed around in the dog food community. So it's a very, very tough battle, and you know, I guess freeze dried is the gateway drug to raw. And but yeah, man, we've been having a lot of good feedback on that, and I don't know. I was about to say something. I completely forgot what I was about to say. But other than that, man, I don't know if you've seen our XDOG True Beast products, but we have our freeze-dried lineup. And then we also just launched the True Beast Muscle Performance Vitality product. And we stand behind our products so much, man. I mean, for example, you know, we work with the Texas State Chemists. We have our feed license with them. So we work with actually one of our good business partners is a member of the AFCO board. And we also are an active member of the National Animal Supplement Council. So, you know, what I believe separates our products from a lot of other products is that the pet industry seems like it always tries to cut corners on their quality, where we kind of went the opposite direction to where we went all in on quality. And we're excited about it, and that we believe in our product so much that you can actually try any of these for $1. So we will be launching our landing pages, and if you're part of our email I guess, email list or text message blast, we'll be hitting you guys up this coming week because you'll be able to try the Muscle Performance Vitality for $1. We have it both in chicken and beef flavors. And a lot of people use these artificial flavors and products, and our inactive ingredients in those products is beef bone broth or Chick Pro Isolate, or we'll use collagen protein and MCT powder, where a lot of companies will just put fillers and just bulking agents with absolutely I don't know, just the inactive ingredients. Yeah. I don't want to say non-nutritional value because the supplements don't fall in the line of feed, but you know, it doesn't get any more pure outside of just raw than freeze-dried meat, right?
Yeah, there's something I was even going to say. I want this to come out right when I say this. Now, we're talking about credentials and having credentials. Now, I know people talking about, let's say someone introducing a product. Maybe they think they'll feel more comfortable with someone who introduces a product with credentials, right? But it's like, it says a lot when a bunch of people stand behind a product and they have credentials. You know, it says a lot more.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to join in something where they feel like, oh, it's not preferred or it's not, you know, but I'm saying it's a big deal that a lot of people with credentials do stand behind us in our products.
Well, that's one of the big things that we look for when it comes to our affiliate program. I mean, Gummy can tell you, man, we literally have thousands of pending applications, but what we like to choose are people from our group or members who actually, 1, use the vest, 2, use our products, 3, believe in our products. If you're just coming in and just get in it, trying to make more money, you're not going to fit well because you're not going to fit our culture, and the program's not going to you're not going to be successful with the program because you're money driven, where we're more result driven. We talk about sales, but we don't consider ourselves salesmen. We consider ourselves people who help and serve.
Sales is just a symptom of what we do.
Yeah. And if you're in business, man, this is what I tell people, man. I had someone call me the other day and they're like, man, well, give me like just a breakdown, just a quick breakdown on how to, you know, start a business. I'm like, shit, you want the simple thing? Find one customer, give that consumer an experience so amazing that they got to go on social media and share it. And then when you get the second customer, repeat that shit over and over again. You know, and a lot of people gave us a hard time because these past couple months because we just didn't have the staff to, I guess, what would you say, to service 5,000 new customers a month for 3 months straight. Yeah. Right. So it was something that we've never faced. Right. We've never faced it before, and they've definitely never faced it. So how could they understand? So we can't really hold them accountable for understanding. So all we can say is listen, if you had a bad experience with XDOG, hit us up. We will make it right.
Blame Sabrina.
Everyone else does, so it's cool. Scapegoat number 1.
But with that being said, you guys have anything on the last closing remarks? We've decided that influence is a massive thing in this era right now, and it's if you have credentials and you can be an influencer, you are a dominant factor. We decided that XDOG is not a cult. We explained the difference between the MLM versus an affiliated marketing program, which we're not an MLM. We let y'all know that you can get the True Beast products and try them out for first time for $1. Mm-hmm. And then we also talked about the agenda of people trying to destroy something actually helping it thrive.
Yeah.
And then we owe those admins in the group who banned our product a steak dinner. And if you are an admin of a pretty big dog group, hit us up. We'll be willing to pay you to make us a rule to ban our products.
Yeah. I would just say, if you have anybody in your life that is spreading bad rumors and bad stuff about you, you just got to call them and tell them thanks for the free promo. That's it.
No, I agree with you on that too. I'm not going to push back.
Well, guys, first of all, man, we want to just say thank you. XDOG is a positive moving mission. You know, we have a lot of people, man, who are, I wouldn't say a lot of people. We have a few people who don't believe in our movement, but at the end of the day, obesity in dogs is a massive epidemic. It's a leading cause, and in our opinion, the number one threat to our dog's health. And XDOG, all we want to do, man, is push the narrative. One thing that you can say about those who invest in the XDOG product is that they're actually out there taking action. Whether they're doing it correctly or incorrectly doesn't really matter at this point. The most important thing is that they're out there and they're actively hanging out with their dogs. Their dogs are not sitting on the couch being couch potatoes. And man, you know, we try to bring you as much value for free. So if you could do us a solid and leave us a review on our iTunes or share our YouTube video, man, on this episode and like it, that would be greatly appreciated. And please leave a comment in those reviews if you have any questions or any type of topics that you would like us to cover. But man, we are very, very grateful for your support. We couldn't do it without you. And as always, Team XDOG strong.